All right, here we go. How are we all doing today? Nice to know that you guys appreciate my effort, because one of the comments here says, I hope you fired yourself since the audio was bad last time. Thank you. I fire myself every day. I think you'll be glad to hear. How are we all doing today? It's so dramatic with the fountains going off behind me at the start of every live stream, because I start them on the hour, and that's when the fountains go off here in Dubai. It's so dramatic. Here we go. Audio's good. It looks like it's all good. Let me know if the visuals are working as well. Can you see the chart and things like that? We've had a good day with Bitcoin. I should probably move my laptop up a little bit. My webcam. So okay, so we had a good day. You know, it was it was actually pretty amazing how quickly Bitcoin went up from the previous video. What I outlined for you all in the previous video was that we I was talking about how we were showing good signs of strength, in my opinion, and it looked to me like this correction was over. And I swear I literally said this like around here, where I said that I was expecting Bitcoin either that same day or tomorrow, which is now today. I was expecting either yesterday or today that we would be pumping up towards $60,000. And that's exactly what happened. So really, really happy with how that worked out. Making me look like a genius, although of course it was just luck that that I made the call at precisely the right time. I can't take too much credit for that. I did get lucky with that call. But from there, we've been moving really well again. You know, we formed, you know, what is typically considered to be a bit of a diamond pattern in the market. Something that looks a little bit like this, forms a diamond shape, looking at something a little bit like this. The reason that this is considered to be a reversal pattern is it's basically an indication that the market is trading downwards, and then it enters this diamond and it's testing both ranges extensively, right? It's testing the upside and the downside extensively, and both are getting rejected. This is the key point to understand. Both sides of the market are rejecting the price. However, and sorry, before I continue, that means you like my hairstyle? Thank you. I just wet it a bit because I was literally like half asleep 10 minutes ago. But what the reason this is important is because if the upside and the downside is, you can't see this, if the upside and the downside is rejecting Bitcoin at the same time, it's an indication that the price is in neutral territory, right? Because the bulls can't do anything and the bears can't do anything, so we're neutral. We're in an equilibrium. However, if we then consider the market state that this equilibrium has come in, zoom out and we'll see the market state. It's overwhelmingly bullish, right? So what that means is we got what I would consider to be a neutral sign in a massive bull market. So those of you who've been subscribed for a while, thank you all very much. You will have probably heard me say in the past that when we're in a very strong uptrend like this, anything that's neutral becomes bullish, in my opinion. Anything that's even slightly good looks really good. Anything that's not really anything looks good. Anything that's bearish looks neutral to me. That's kind of, everything is strongly biased to the upside, in my opinion. And so and this is why diamond reversal patterns work so well. If I should also mention that, you know, I mean, we can form these patterns. I mean, probably not here, but we form them a lot, you know. So it's not the most reliable pattern to look at. You know, you could probably make an argument that we formed, no, probably not over here, but you can definitely find other places to draw diamond reversal patterns, right? So I have to make that very clear. However, we had one, I think, over here that was fairly clear with the market. And just the fact that it's coming, you know, when we've recently set a new all-time high, like I said, we've had our correction, we've had our consolidations. These to me are indications that if we're getting a diamond reversal pattern, you know, something that looks a little bit neutral within an overwhelmingly bullish market, that yeah, it's pretty good, and the market is ready to trade higher. So from there, and that was a very important beginning to the live stream. I think we started this one off quite strong. So let me know if you did appreciate that explanation on diamond reversal patterns, because I've actually never said this on this channel before. I have talked about diamond reversal patterns, but never in the way that I did right now. I guess my my little nap before this live stream gave me some extra clarity. But what we've had since then was a bit of a climb up to $60,000, a small rejection down by about 2,500. Bless us for being able to say that's small. That's really cool. That's less than 5% down. And now we've recovered almost all of it again. We're right back up against that 60K range. You know, for me, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen here. I think that Bitcoin is just going to probably kind of keep rubbing shoulders with the 60K level and then eventually broke out. Someone is saying drink every time I say however. I think that it makes a lot of sense if Bitcoin is able to just kind of trade sideways here a little bit and then just pump up. I don't see 60K as being strong resistance, ladies and gents. We've had way more corrections than I think we needed to have by now. And I say way more. We've only had 2 extra corrections than what I think we needed to. It doesn't mean that I'm correct. It just means that this is my opinion. And I definitely think that that means we're ready to break higher. Not only that, there's good reason to believe that from a fundamental standpoint. If you take a look at the news, if you take a look at, you know, the actual facts in the space right now, things are healthy. And when we get corrections within a healthy market, that to me is a good sign that we can continue rising up. So I certainly think we're going to break 60,000 quite soon. I'm saying this with the same confidence that I told you guys yesterday that I was expecting this pump to happen. Once again, for those of you just tuning in, I was bragging a little bit about how it was directly after I said that we would get this pump, that we got this pump. Obviously, I mentioned that that it was down to luck, the fact that my prediction was so on point so quickly. Obviously, I didn't know it would happen so quickly, but still very, very cool. If you are enjoying this live stream so far and you're finding it useful, the channel is again being suppressed. At this point, I don't know if it's a shadow ban or if it's just me. Apparently, it's not me because someone in this live stream has is excited by me downstairs. So apparently, I'm pretty good. So if you can smash up those likes, I would really appreciate that, because what I'm seeing right here is, look, test number 1 of 60K, test number 2. I don't know, maybe we trade sideways here, we pump up, maybe we get rejected, and then we pump up from there. But I certainly think that relatively soon we are moving up. You guys are super weird in the comments today. I think certainly quite soon we are moving up above the 60K range. I just don't see this as being strong resistance, and I think that we should be able to break it relatively quickly because of that. If we zoom out onto something like the 4-hour time frame, it actually doesn't really look like we're getting rejected here. I mean, there's a very, very small pullback that's almost just completely insignificant on the market here at the moment, in my opinion. And if we zoom out onto something more like the daily chart, you can't even tell what's going on. You know, I mean, it just looks like a very standard dip before we potentially continue trading higher. You know, only caveat here is I am potentially seeing the possibility of Bitcoin forming something, you know, as a longer term kind of consolidation, you know, that can take us several months forward. And I mean, it would make sense. I wouldn't like it. Obviously, that would be very uncomfortable. It would certainly be great to trade. That's probably one of the easiest times to trade when we're just kind of ranging sideways. But it would definitely be a lot more boring than trading upwards. And, you know, the only reason I'm pointing this out, that we might end up forming something like this, is if we look at the chart from 2017, we actually had situations that looked somewhat like that. Let's zoom out. We're already on the 1-day chart, but let me show you what happened at certain consolidation ranges and things like that. How we kind of entered quite long, drawn out stretches of nothing happening, and you can start to see how, look, so this is a run up to an all-time, I mean, this wasn't an all-time high, this was just $700. And granted, by the way, this happened before Bitcoin broke the previous all-time high in this market, but you can see quite clearly that Bitcoin right here ended up seeing a bit of a significant crash, and then making a recovery, and then seeing a small crash again. And the issue here is it just turns into a long, drawn-out grind, you know, where we're just kind of trading sideways, doing nothing for so long. And, you know, up to this point already on the chart, you know, from the day that we set the high to right here, it's already been 3 months. You know, I mean, could you imagine, you know, just trading like this for 3 months in this market? You know, that would be pretty bad. That would be pretty annoying. But I for some reason, I just get a hunch. I don't know how real it is, but I've been feeling this more and more over the past couple of days, that there seems to me to be some possibility that we're gonna have a bigger correction. I don't know. It just looks like too much of a staircase to heaven to me. So there's nothing scientific or technical about this idea that I have. It's just something that came to my head, and I gotta say it. I have to get it off my chest and say it publicly. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. My technical analysis itself is certainly telling me that this market is in a good place to carry on rallying quite high. I don't see much reason to lose faith in that idea right now. You know, I certainly think that Bitcoin has that kind of potential. So from there, it begs the question, where will Bitcoin go? So I certainly think, like I said, that we have the potential to rise above 60K. I think we can do that quite soon, maybe even today. And if not yet, probably, certainly, I think tomorrow is doable. I think that if we do punch above 60K, we will look first at 62,000 as being the first area of resistance. Only $2,000 higher, less than 5% above. I certainly think that this can be possible, that the price kind of punches up here. This is where I might expect some resistance because it was the previous all-time high, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be so bad. And the reason for that is we already traded at this area just 4 days ago. So it's quite recent that we set this all-time high, and we do actually, I think, tend to see big rejections from previous all-time highs when we haven't visited them for a while. But this is quite recent, you know, so if we're visiting them in recent succession, I certainly believe that it's going to be quite easy to break. It's not like the rejection here was particularly strong either. We only got a semi-strong sell-off at the $60,000 level, but even then, I mean, from high to low, we didn't crash by that much. I mean, we only dropped by 14%. You know, I don't think many people, even the noobs, I don't think many people were worried about this drop right here. So it didn't act as strong resistance, and for that reason, I think we're probably going to have a pretty easy time breaking above the 62K level relatively soon as well, especially if we get past 60K. From there, it's all about those psychological targets again. So I want to give a quick shout out to Josh Foster in the comments today. He's the first person who commented on this live stream and mentioned that $75,000 is inbound. And I agree with that. You know, it's just the fact that we've now been consolidating for so long. It's telling me that actually we could very well be in a situation where the market is getting ready to rally up to some explosive highs. And, you know, certainly around some psychological areas would make a little bit of sense to me. So that's why 75K looks doable. Again, it's a psychological area. So the fact that we've now passed 50K, the fact that we've passed 20K, I don't see many big, scary psychological numbers up ahead for Bitcoin here. So I certainly think that Bitcoin can do quite well off these levels, and that Bitcoin can pump up quite largely and go to levels like, yeah, I mean, any round number, you know, you name it. I think it's doable. And that's why, again, in the thumbnail of this live stream, we've got the 100K Bitcoin target, because I think that we've already you know, done quite well with our targets so far, and it doesn't take a lot for the market to double in this situation. You know, I mean, we were trading at $30,000 just a month and a half ago, you know, so and we've doubled that today. So it's not the hardest thing in the world for the market to double itself. It can be done inside of 45 days. Is the point. We've seen that. In fact, you know, when we reached the all-time high, let's measure this really quickly. The all-time high was right here. How long did it take to reach 40K, which was double the all-time high? It took 22 days, right? So it's not taking long for the market to do very, very cool things. And I think that's a point that I want to hit right here. You know, I mean, I was talking to somebody today, one of the guys who I do some business with, and he mentioned that, you know, Bitcoin is very boring right now. It's getting quite frustrating. And I definitely think that that volatility could be returning quite soon, purely because we've been consolidating for so long. You know, we haven't actually been setting real new highs now for, I mean, we can measure it from the all-time high at 58K. I mean, we only went above it by, I mean, less than 10%. We haven't really set a new all-time high. We haven't had a big, you know, massive blue sky breakout now for nearly a month. You know, and previously, again, you know, we kind of put this in perspective. The last time this happened, it took us about 30 days. And the price, I mean, from the previous all-time high to the next high that we set, it went up by 40%. You know, so if we did do something similar like this again, I mean, 40% up from here puts us well above $75,000. It actually starts putting us quite close to 100,000. It puts us at 86. You know, so 100,000 from there is what, like a 15% pump away. You know, I don't know, 20% pump away. It's really not that hard to achieve, and that's one of the main things that I wanna hit home in this live stream today. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Bear with me. I want to mention something about the MRI quickly from Tone Vase. I met up with Tone Vase yesterday, and the MRI indicator. I want to see what it's saying about this correction. The MRI indicator, for those of you who don't know, is quite a complicated indicator. So I don't actually base much analysis of it. I just find it generally quite interesting to look at. Let's see what it's saying. It's still saying that we're in an uptrend on the 4-hour chart. We got the MRI top, which is a potentially bearish sign, and the C extension top and the A extension top happening at roughly the same time. So 4-hour time frame definitely showing us that we're still quite bearish. I mean, it means that we're overextended. The 1-day time frame was the interesting one, because this is the one that I very clearly forecasted for you guys would be a potential top for Bitcoin, and so did Tone Vase, and it worked. From there, we've now triggered a new set of extensions, A1, A2, B2. So it looks like there's some juice on the daily chart, according to this, just in my own unprofessional opinion. Let's see what's happening on the 1-hour chart. Again, this is just my curiosity. If you don't understand it, it's fine. I'm going to switch back to something a little bit more accessible in just a minute. But I certainly am curious about this. Yeah, I don't see anything in particular happening here. So let's just switch back to the easy indicators. MRI indicator not being particularly useful right there, but certainly was very good at, I think, cooling the top and showing us that we could now have, you know, well over a week, nearly 2 weeks of continued upside from here on the daily chart. And I think that would make a lot of sense right now, just given the fact that, I mean, we've had our pullback, we've had our time-based correction, because we were trading sideways for about 2 days, over 2 days, 2.5 days. We were just trading sideways, doing nothing in particular. So I think that's enough for the market to start trading higher. Let's see what else we have here, though, from my notes. Yeah, so again, the same thing. I mean, it's time for me to actually draw a box and make this more official. I think that this next new area of resistance is kind of right here. And as long as Bitcoin can, you know, climb above this box, I think it's going to be able to do quite well within this market, you know, shoot up to levels like 70K, 75K fairly quickly. If we take a look at things like momentum, bam, right here, this is where it starts getting really impressive, especially if you have been watching any of our recent live streams and videos on this YouTube channel. You'll know how I've been a very strong advocator. I've been a very strong user, supporter is the word, of this indicator for a long time now. And yet again, we've now had another confirmed test of our EMA ribbon, where the price has fallen into or near the ribbon and bounced off beautifully. This has happened so many times, and yet again now. So again, if you've watched this YouTube channel at all over the past few days, you would have seen this in every single one of my recent videos where I was talking to you about this right here. So that to me is very impressive. That to me is very, very impressive. Shout out to those of you who are already subscribed so you didn't miss that analysis, because this is not taking us by surprise. Even like I said, just the last video was published at roughly around this time right here. Yeah, like somewhere around this candle, where I said that Bitcoin could end up rising very, very soon. And we did within like the next hour. It was very, very impressive. So if you are subscribed, you've been benefiting from all of that amazing analysis. If you're already in our free FORFLIES Telegram channel, then you're getting even more free analysis, even more timely. These videos, these live streams, they only happen once a day. They usually only happen at roughly this time, you know, which is about 6 p.m. GMT. So you're also getting more round-the-clock analysis in our free Telegram channel. And of course, those of you inside of our VIP group are getting everything as soon as it happens, whether it's analysis or ideas on the next trades I'm making. You guys saw the full updates on the most recent trade that I made, where I closed a small 20% profit on Bitcoin and had the rest of my position close out at break even, which was a very, very clean, very good trade that I'm very happy with in this market. So there we go. Thank you to all of you who have already subscribed, joined VIP, click the like button. I do really appreciate that. EMA ribbon right there showing us some good signs. Ichimoku cloud, unfortunately, we didn't get to touch yet. We didn't actually trade into the cloud, but I certainly think that one of the possibilities here is that we end up seeing a quick dip down to kiss this area and start rising back up from here. I don't think it's likely. I think it's most likely that we just kind of trade in a box like this and then break up. However, I do certainly think that Bitcoin has the potential to still fall down here and then have a quick V-shaped correction upwards and carry on mooning higher. I definitely think that would make a lot of sense. I see some questions about Ethereum and Cardano, and I actually want to take a look at Cardano. Once again, going off the same idea that I just mentioned in the past few minutes, if you've watched any of our recent, just one of the recent live streams, I forgot which one, I talked a lot about how this was the perfect buy zone for Cardano, in my opinion. And I mentioned that it's anywhere between these two blue lines. I would expect Cardano to be a good area to buy. I even mentioned I would consider it, and I didn't actually do it. I wasn't interested, but we did. Cardano did end up rising very, very nicely there. I mean, from this rough range, someone's going to give me $20 to not talk about Cardano. From this rough range to the high, it's already gone up by 40%, you know? So I think this was very predictable. Someone can go back and find where I mentioned Cardano in one of the previous live streams, and you'll see how very, very confident I was that this was, you know, I mentioned that Cardano would be dropping for a long time. I actually called this drop as well. I mentioned that Cardano was probably going to have a really long drop for a long time, probably going to drop down by a lot, and it did. I mean, what did it do? It nearly halved. Yeah, minus 45%. It nearly halved in price, and I mentioned that this was likely to happen, in my opinion, and I got so much shit for it. I got so much hate for it as well. Which is super normal. There goes my $20. That's super normal. But right here, it has ended up now recovering, you know, since it did enter, you know, what I would definitely call a nice buy zone. So if you did appreciate that call as well, then please do hit up the likes, because that was a pretty spectacular call. I mean, we've been on point with the market the whole time during this market. So it's been pretty good. This isn't really surprising. This is just classic technical analysis. And you know, note that for all of the Cardano analysis I did, I didn't buy Cardano. Someone's saying I definitely know I didn't buy Cardano. I just wasn't interested. But for all of the analysis I did on Cardano, the fact that I called this top, I said we'd probably drop by a lot, and then I said this was a good buy zone, it's probably going to start rising from here. I did all of this analysis using this same chart. I only had a couple of paintbrush drawings. I only had these green lines, these blue lines, and these red lines, and that's it. I didn't use a single indicator. I didn't use a single Fibonacci. I didn't use anything. Just my own knowledge with these horizontal lines, and it was able to accurately predict a move that went up by more than 40%. That should really tell you something. I think that really screams something very important right here, which is that you don't need to pile on a bunch of crazy indicators to make good results. This call was very easy for me to make, and it already pulled a 40% move. That's before leverage. You know, if you had applied, say, 5 times leverage to the market at this point, a 40% move would become a 200% gain. 40 times 5. It would become a 200% gain, which is a 3 times increase on your starting balance. You would put in $10,000, you'd walk away with $30,000. You know, with this very simple analysis, this is the point that I really try to drive home on these live streams, that I know that a lot of you guys already are technical analysts, and a lot of you might not feel like you're very good at it. You know, I mean, that's why you would come to YouTube videos. For some of you, not all of you, but certainly a significant proportion. And if that's the case, and you try to compensate for your lack of skills by throwing on a bunch of absolutely crazy indicators from the public library and typing in, you know, like the best Bitcoin indicator 2021 or whatever, you know, you're gonna be pretty disappointed when you look at someone's analysis like mine and you see that we'll end up rising quite well. But the point is, you don't need them. It was quite easy to pick out where we would find the big support range because Cardano fell down to exactly this price level after it set the all-time high back in 2018. So the fact that we had such a nice bounce with this perfect wick all the way back 3 years ago, I think was a strong indication that Cardano might end up using this range for some significance again. And that's already been proven recently because our trend previously when it crashed down also crashed down to exactly this range and then bounced up. So not only did we have a very significant bit of price action from 3 years ago and then subsequent tests and rejections from this level that prove that these two blue lines are still important in the market. Not only did we have a lot of historic significance with this level, a lot of significance going way back in history with this price level, we also had something very recently have a big market reversal at this point. I mean, not only did we top out very recently and get a small rejection, in fact, a relatively large rejection. Let's actually calculate this from high to low, dropping down by 22%. I mean, that's significant. That's not some small deal. Not only did we have that small rejection, but also when we ended up falling, we already used this area of support. So we very clearly used the same area as support with recent price action and with price action that goes back years. So I think that's really significant. I think the next fountain show has just started up, so there we go. But that I think is really significant, and I've done all of that analysis without a single indicator or any tools other than my paintbrush and my horizontal lines. So there you go. Simple analysis, in my opinion, is always king. If you want to see how these pieces of analysis get translated into trades and different things like that, then once again, the steps to ask me about VIP to join it are right here on screen. Clicking on the first link in the description down below, then the @FORFLIES button, and then the send message button to ask me how to join VIP. We've seen stellar results, plus 29%, plus 79%, just a couple of wins from one afternoon. Feeling a little bit risky, but nonetheless sticking to his plan, having stop losses, locking in profits, you know, I mean, making you know, way more than, if I'm not mistaken, way more than what this person paid to join inside of just one afternoon. You know, I mean, this is just one of them. We've got a bunch of them. You guys know this guy with the house that I've been talking to you about nearly every day. Another guy over here just recently 5 days ago with a 200% gain. Absolutely insane stuff. So if you do want to join the group, join VIP, find out exactly what's going on and how you can get a piece of that action, see how these people have been able to pull these amazing results, then once again, the steps are on screen right here. There you go. Such a cool fountain show. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm gonna start going through your questions here and start answering them one by one. So if you do have any, please do drop them in the comments, and I'll leave this information on screen for you for a minute if you do want to reach out about VIP. I already see that a few of you have and my assistants are online right now, sending off the information when you need them, when you need it. Sorry. So someone's asking for Ethereum analysis. Someone's asking for XLM. I will not look at XLM because I don't trade it. On the note of trading, by the way, Cardano is tradable on Phemex. So if you want to trade Cardano with leverage specifically, that means you can leverage up the moves and make much more than the actual move. Then that's possible here on Phemex, which is absolutely great. If you do want to use Phemex, there's no KYC required, and it'll only take you 30 seconds to sign up. You can use the link in the description below, and crucially with that link, you're also going to get some free Bitcoin to trade with, which you can use to understand what the buttons do and experiment a little bit so that you don't actually risk your own capital. Definitely very, very cool. If you are in the United States or any other restricted territories like Canada and the United Kingdom, it's usually considered that using a VPN is a good idea, but I cannot endorse that. Let's see what else we have for questions today. Phemex wanted 10% for a purchase. I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Phemex prices are pretty normal. No, they're exactly normal. I haven't said what I think about Cardano in the future. So look, what I'm seeing with Cardano here is we might end up being able to overcome this resistance area relatively soon. I think it depends a little bit more on Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin stays healthy, I think Cardano will be fine. If it just ends up kind of consolidating here, I think it'll start moving up very, very nicely. If it falls down to the support level again, I would certainly expect at least another pump up, at least up to maybe this red line, and then we go down. But I'll start to get quite concerned if we revisit this level again anytime soon, which means anytime in the next month, basically. I mean, I would start getting a little bit worried. Faf right there mentioning that you just signed up using my link. Thank you very much. And there you go, evident of the takes less than 30 seconds thing. It does take less than 30 seconds because this person has just done it right now. Okay, so you don't need to buy Cardano on Phemex. Not necessary to trade it. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think it's necessary. No, it's not. It shouldn't be. What about Swissborg? We'll talk about Swissborg in a minute as well. But I certainly think that, yeah, because of that, if it falls down to this level again, I'll start to get very worried. However, right here, I'm pretty happy with it. It also makes sense that I do some analysis on the USD chart, because the USD chart is what most of you are trading. And it looks like a clear double top right here, but I'm not actually very worried about that. I definitely think that after this correction, I mean, just take a look at this correction real quick. So this was, yeah, I mean, a minus 33% correction. That's enough, I think, to limit the risk of this being a double top. If we set a high over here, right, and then we corrected down by only like 5%, and then we kept on going up, then I would I'm sorry, let me draw this again properly. So if we set a high here like this, and then we only fell down this much, and then we went back up to the all-time high, this is where I would imagine that the risk is a little bit stronger. But the fact that the correction cut a lot deeper, to me, is a sign that the subsequent test could be the one that breaks it. So in this case, it wasn't, but that's fine. I think that just a little bit of consolidation is all that this market needs in order to do something very, very impressive again. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. And I will go to Ethereum momentarily as well. Bear with me for a second. FORFLIES, your analysis are proven deadly correct again and again. Thank you very much. It seems you consider placing orders a lot more than you actually do. Yes, that's a very good observation. Why don't I trade more? What's the philosophy behind it? There we go. Cheng Pin again with the amazing questions. I'm just going to blow up my camera right now because that's an amazing question that he's just asked. Thank you very much. Should give you more credit for how well thought out your questions are. Much better than the guys who are just like, are we going to 100K today? Do you advise me to buy or sell? Stuff like that. So, yes, I consider setting orders a lot more than I actually do. And the reason for this is I've actually kept a journal of hypothetical trades like the ones I've considered, like Cardano, and actual trades that I've made. And it's probably not going to come as much as a surprise. The hypothetical journal was good, certainly would have netted a good trading account, but the actual trades journal was better. Because this hypothetical one, it ends up screwing me up a lot as well. The thing is, a lot of these trades might look good. If I rated them, 0 to 10, 0 being buying bcash as an investment, 10 being buying Tesla at $20. If I had to rate each of these out of 10, it might be that most of these positions come in at a 6 or a 7. But the point is, because there's that additional, 4 out of 10 that it's missing, which is where the risk is very high or the reward just isn't quite good enough, I would end up losing significant sums. And we all know the math here, where you can lose your money faster than you can make it. Right? So very simply, I'll give you a good example. You've got $100 and you've lost $50. You've lost 50% of it. You now need to double your remaining $50 to break even. You need a plus 100% gain to erase a minus 50% loss. Right? With a slightly more normal and still terrifying example, if you lose 20% of your money, you need to make back 25% to break even. So it's always easier to lose money than it is to make money. And if I'm not choosing trades that I consider to be absolutely perfect, I will end up losing more money. Right? That's important. And the other reason that that's a big deal is, okay, some of you are thinking, yeah, but Sammy, losing money is part of the process. It's fine. It's part of a good system. You will always lose money and it's unavoidable. And I agree with you. But there's bigger problems than just the financial loss. And this is where almost all of you will relate to me right here. There's bigger problems than just losing the money, than just losing the dollars, the percent, which is that when you've lost a little bit of money, you're now going to feel like shit, right? Now your psychology is going to be thrown off. You're going to start feeling like an incompetent trader. You're going to, because it could be that one of those losses is quite big. It could be that one of them is minus 40%, for example. Now you woke up with $100, you're going to sleep with $60. You woke up with, 50K, you're going to sleep with 30K. Yeah, that math is correct. So, you would feel terrible about it. And now the next cost that you have, other than your financial, your percentage loss, the next cost you have is your opportunity cost. Because you feel like shit, your decision making is going to be worse for your next trade. So you might not take a good trade, or you might rush into a bad trade in order to make back some of what you lost, or anything like that. And that's why I don't like to take trades that I don't consider to be absolutely perfect. A big part of that is I want to be able to make sure for the longevity of my own trading that I can stay away from substantial, shattering losses. And that's why I always seek to move my stop loss to break even straight away. I don't care if it's a bad idea. I don't care if it's an amazing idea. I want my stop loss at break even really quick so that I don't stand to lose anything. Because we're all subject to those psychological pitfalls, and you can tell yourself you're not, but when you've had 3 losses in a row that are minus 20%, you're gonna feel like shit, and if you don't, then it means you enjoy losing money. So I don't know which one's worse, and that's why I only like to go for trading opportunities that I consider to be perfect, that I consider to be as close to perfect as possible. Anything less than that is not good enough, in my opinion, because it means that I'm starting to risk more money. I would lose more money, and I would compromise my future trading results. Purely by being a little bit overzealous. So there are so many opportunities that I don't end up taking because of this. And this is actually one of the key reasons that being inside VIP is potentially so advantageous. Because you will see that I'll point out 50 amazing opportunities in the market that I consider to be pretty, if it's made it to my shortlist, it's pretty good, right? If I would say I'm considering this, it's not like it's dirt, it's still probably going to be a good trade. But I will only, out of those 50, I don't know, I can't give you a real number because I can't remember, but out of 50, or for argument's sake, it might be that I only trade 15 of them. It might be that I only trade 20 of them, and that's on purpose. It's because I want to be able to limit my my losses, and that's a bigger priority to me than making money. And that's counterintuitive when you want to build wealth. Being scared of spending money instead of focusing on making money. But the issue is, this is the reason this is not counterintuitive, in my opinion, is because the trading style I have already, which is leverage trading, is very aggressive. So if I'm trading in a conservative way, but in the leverage space, I'm still super aggressive. It's like I'm not sure if I'm allowed to give these analogies anymore, but it's the only one that comes to my mind. I'm sure it's allowed. Is you've got somebody doing crack, right? And it's obviously an extremely hard, very dangerous drug. But he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a bump. I'm not gonna do much. It's still a lot. Like, this person's still getting fucked up. And that's the point. It doesn't matter how much I do. Just the fact that I'm trading Bitcoin and doing it on leverage, my risk is astronomical at any point. So by dialing it down, it's still quite aggressive. This is the point. And that's why I only want to go for the perfect positions. So there you go. Thank you for the amazing question. If you have enjoyed that explanation, then you will know what I'm about to ask for. Please do hit up the likes. I'm a fiend for your likes. They fuel me. Please hit up the likes and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, because I think a lot of you have noticed by now that we are, on this channel, the most realistic channel for actual trading. So if that's something that tickles your fancy, as they used to say in England, not we anymore, I've left you guys, you can enjoy your Boris and your Rishi, but if you are a fan of that, then VIP is right there for you, because you can see again how that all translates into real trades, that have been going absolutely amazingly inside of this market. So there you go. Steps are on screen for you to gain access to all of that right now. You can pause the video and ask me for information about it. And like I said, my assistants are here right now responding to your messages, and they'll get back to you very, very soon. So go ahead and do that. Like I mentioned a couple of videos ago, we are still running that promo where yearly memberships are 75% off our old prices, and that includes, well, yeah, the whole year inside VIP, where you get to watch exactly how I trade with all the real-time updates, from considerations to formulating the trades to committing to them and then taking profits or adjusting stop losses or dealing with losses. You get a lifetime access into our advanced trading academy course, which is over 10 hours of content, phone calls with me, and these yacht parties. We're going to throw one very soon, I think. Either it'll be actually, it's difficult now because of COVID, but it'll probably be later this year, around October, I'm thinking, maybe even November, when it's a little bit cooler. So if you're interested in that, yearly memberships are at the lowest prices they've ever been. So there you go. Steps are on screen. Let me go back to your questions before I hop on over to Ethereum and give you my thoughts on Ethereum as well. I want to make sure I didn't lose anything. I'm sorry, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. FORFLIES, can I look at the daily EMA ribbon in 2017? We wicked out of the bottom 3 times, and I believe having our 40% corrections. We have not done this yet once in our rally. What's my opinion? So Maxwell here, I'm about to sneeze, bear with me. Okay, the sneeze is gone. No, it's back. And it's gone. Alright, apparently I can't sneeze under pressure. Bitcoin USD, let's take a look at this in 2017. What Maxwell is asking right here is that on the daily chart with our EMA ribbon, Bitcoin ended up dipping below it in 2017 3 times. Once over here, actually 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each of them, most of them, were during big corrections, minus 40% and the like. So Maxwell is asking for my opinion on this, the fact that we haven't dipped below any of these yet. Maxwell, I think my answer is going to be what you expect. I certainly think that we're going to get this. I think it's only a matter of time. Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time, but I don't know when. The thing is, because we've already corrected so much within this trend, I think it's very likely that we're gonna make another stellar rise upwards, and somewhere between here and like $100,000. This is what Tone Vase and Carl the Moon also think, by the way. Somewhere between here and $1,000, we might end up having a big crash that takes us all the way back down to like $40,000, $50,000. We might crash from 80K down to 50K, for example, and let me just calculate what that loss would be. 80K down to 50. Okay, so down to 47,000 is a 40% crash, right? So yeah, I mean, from going from 85K down to 50K would be a 40% correction, and that would be enough to probably knock us out of EMA support. I don't think it's going to happen now, because we've already corrected so much, and I think we're due for another rally. However, I think it's entirely possible and quite likely to happen at some point in this market, because it's only natural that a market like this that we're in right now will have significant corrections from time to time, will have very sharp corrections from time to time. And what we can observe from this quite clearly is that every time it did happen, the price quite quickly recovered back up, quite quickly. So I would definitely expect that to happen again. Good question. Thank you, Maxwell. Hope that answers your question. So I certainly think that at some point we're gonna have a sharp correction. It's very natural in this kind of market. Let's see what other questions we had. I want to know where ETH is heading. So let's take a look at Ethereum. For the most part, I think Ethereum is doing the same thing as Bitcoin again. It's moving in the same way, just a little bit more extreme. If Bitcoin moves up, it's moving a little bit higher. If Bitcoin moves down, it's moving a little bit lower. For me, this actually looks so much like a bull flag right here, right before an all-time high. 100%. What I'm seeing here is that we set a previous all-time high right here. We fell down. I'm sorry. Let me take off these indicators. We fell down, and now we've entered a bull flag right here. This is what I'm seeing. We've entered a bull flag where we're just trading sideways, and we're getting ready to move up. That's definitely what I think is happening with Ethereum right now. It would invalidate my analysis if Ethereum fell below about 1700. If Ethereum fell below 1700, I'd start to become quite bearish, quite worried about it. But as it is right now, I think it's pretty good. If we ended up rising above 1900, that's where I think we're making a rally towards the all-time high, and of course beyond. I still believe Ethereum is going to have a quite easy time rising up to levels like 2500. I still believe Ethereum is going to have quite an easy time rising up to levels like $3,000 or $5,000. My opinions there have not changed. There you go. Hope that answers your questions about the Ethereum analysis as well. And thank you all for hitting up the likes, by the way. Thank you all very much. Let's get it up to 500 here as our first target. We're super close, only 100 more. Someone's asked for Swissborg analysis, so let's take a look at that as well. Swissborg has been moving really well. You guys already know. I was talking about it a lot when we were down here. Mentioned to you guys that I bought it when we were down here. And this was 29 cents. And I told you that I was selling at about over here at $1.50. So that's an easy 5 times gain right there within that time. And from here, it was an easy 50% or 60% gain. So very, very cool. Swissborg is printing money for a lot of people, which of course is obviously always really fun. If you want to find out how and where you can buy Swissborg, there's a link in the description for you called Join Swissborg. And over there, you can sign up to the Swissborg platform. It's basically an exchange where you can buy and sell BTC and crypto with fiat. So it's a fiat gateway. It's like Coinbase. It doesn't work in America, unfortunately, but you can check it out there and even buy their token. My thoughts here are this. I mentioned to you that I would be taking profits on Swissborg at the $1.50 area, and I did, and I'm very happy with that. and now we've seen a bit of a drop. Swissborg ended up falling down to $1.20 and recovered most of that up to $1.50 again, and now we're down to $1.34. I don't like the fact that today specifically, Bitcoin has had a largely good day, or over the past little bit, Bitcoin has had a largely good day, but Swissborg is not. This to me is unusual, but for the most part, considering the stellar rally it's just had, it's responding really well. We topped out with Swissborg at this all-time high. What is it? 8 days ago, over a week since we set this all-time high with Swissborg at $1.55. And in that time, Swissborg is only down by 15%. And the reason that this is so impressive is, let's actually go on CoinMarketCap right now and look for Swissborg. I'm going to show you why this is so impressive. If we type in over here CHSB and we, oh, this is the CHSB. Swissborg is number 68 in the whole crypto. Oh, for fuck's sakes, what is this? This website is always laggy. It doesn't, look, it's doing it again. Look, I can't, this is why I stopped using it. Like, it used to be good and now it's terrible. But the thing that makes this really impressive to me is that this coin holds position number 68 in the market, in all of crypto in terms of market cap size. Yet it's not dumping like a shit coin. You know, when a coin of this size ends up rising the way Swissborg did, they would usually shit the bed and drop massively lower. I'm sorry, I need another second right here. But they would usually perform really badly and just completely crash down. But Swissborg hasn't done that for a long time now, you know, for like 6 months. Bear with me. You know, I mean, a lot of the time they would crash down, you know, 40%, 30%, stuff like that within the first week. You know, but Swissborg didn't do that. And that's the thing. This is a tendency of Swissborg. It'll make a really big move up, you know, and we switch it on to the logarithmic chart, and you can see this move was a big deal. And it's just not going to retrace by much. It just doesn't retrace by much. This was minus 45%, and this entire drop was recovered within 4 days. This drop happened in 8 days. It was recovered in 4. I mean, it literally recovered faster than it dropped. That's super rare. And you know, from there, I mean, beyond that, it doesn't drop much. You know, I mean, in this consolidation range from high to low, you know, I mean, it's down by only 20%, and then it breaks the all-time high again within 5 days. You know, this one right here, this high to low, down by 30%, and it breaks the all-time high within a month. I mean, this is a tendency for Swissborg. So to me, what we're seeing right here with this little, you know, starting here, this little wave pattern, to me, looks just like this. It really does. Looks just like this. It looks just like this to me. That's what I'm seeing here. It's making these moves up in anticipation, I think, of each product release that comes up, and the fact that bag holders of Swissborg are so strongly incentivized to not sell that they just don't sell because of that. And it's working, you know, so I think that's pretty good. I'm seeing potentially a good buy zone being around here at $1.14 and $1 right around here. I don't know if we're going to come back down to this level. Obviously, it would be very nice if we did, but I don't know. However, I definitely think that kind of falling down here would make a lot of sense, and yeah, continuing to rise up from there would also make a lot of sense. I'm still quite bullish on it. It's exceeded everybody's expectations, I think, and these are expectations, you know, of Swissborg hitting $1.50. These are expectations that a lot of people I know had, that Swissborg would hit it by like September, you know, and it did it in a month or two. So I certainly think it has a lot more upside. I am working with them, that's my fair disclaimer, but I'm heavily invested with them with my own money. So it's you know, I've put my money where my mouth is here for sure. I definitely think that it can continue rising up quite nicely. This for me is more of an investment position, but I've got to be honest, even though I am working with them, this is a trade for me at the end of the day, and I made that very clear with them. I'm gonna feel absolutely no remorse or sadness in selling their coin, and I haven't so far. So far, I've already sold, I think, like 20% of what I hold. And to be fair, I bought it over here, so from this time to this time was already a 5 times gain. I mean, that's spectacular. I'm not gonna get greedy and just sit in the market with a 5 times gain. I'm super happy to exit, and crucially, I'm going to continue to do that as we rise up. So I think the next time Swissborg rises up to $1.50, I'll probably be a seller again, just to exercise some good risk management. And then the next time I'll take profits will probably be around the $2, maybe even $2.50 or $3 mark if we get there. So there's my Swissborg analysis as well. Once again, if you want to learn how to get it and use their platform, which is absolutely great, the steps to gain access to it are in the description below with Join Swissborg, and they also have yielding available. So if you've recently made a lot of money in the market and you're looking for somewhere to park it up and earn some stable, it's actually quite unstable, and earn some unstable interest on it, you can park up, for example, a USD Circle, a USDC, which you can buy on their app. And you can stake it. I think the rates now are like 20-30% per year, which is insane, and it's variable, you know, so it can drop down to like 6%, but it's stayed very high recently because of the volatility. So I think that's really, really impressive. They're also doing easy 6-8% on different coins that they have the same product for. To me, that's boring, but the really sexy one for me is USDC, and I think that's very, very impressive. So there you go. That's my Swissborg analysis. We've looked at Ethereum as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this analysis so far. I see a bunch of you have asked about VIP. So if you do want to join the group and watch how I'm trading in real time with all the other benefits, there's so much more than what I just say in these videos and in these live streams. Then you can follow these steps on screen to join, at least to join a free group if you haven't already, by the way, with the first link in the description. This, again, there's no download, no sign up required. You will get more free analysis around the clock on our free Telegram channel. So if you like this channel, this YouTube channel, you will definitely love the Telegram channel. And like I said, for you, it's free. Someone is asking, Chris, how can I keep my ease of mind knowing any other shitcoin could spike to 0 at any moment? How can I hold any of those even for a short term? I don't, Chris, for that exact reason. I'm completely uninterested in them. It's just not worth dabbling in my opinion, because the kind of rewards that shitcoin traders make are breakfast for me, and the risk compared to them that I take on is very, very low, microscopic. Can I look at Tesla? Take a quick look at Tesla. There's not much for me to say about Tesla. It's in an absolutely crazy run. Oh, it has dipped. There's another fountain show? Yeah, it's every 30 minutes. Look at this. It's going on. There's so much of it. Wrong shoulder right there. Another one right there. Yeah, it's just every 30 minutes they do them. So had a V-shaped correction up. You know, I can't analyze this much because it doesn't have much price action here. So this is all speculation and psychology. I'm really sorry. There's no analysis I can do here. Like, if I were still in the market right here, honestly, I mean, to be honest, I probably would have exited long ago because I bought at $36. The reason I can't decide now is because the exchange forced me to close my position, which was a shame. I only made like, I don't know, 50-80% profit. Could have been like 10 times, and I probably would have exited at around 10 times, somewhere around here. So I wouldn't even be in the market anymore. And this is all just psychology, you know. I mean, there's no technical analysis you can do right here. I guess you could throw on a Fibonacci. Let me take a look at the Fibonacci retracement from, yeah, about over here to the high. We bounced off the 382, so that's good. If Tesla can rise back above about $700, yeah. If Tesla can go above $700, I think it'll rally up to the all-time high. If it falls below 570, I think it's going to fall down to somewhere in this range, between 360 and 460. I think it'll fall down somewhere in this range if we break this line right here. Yeah, most likely somewhere. These are the only two key possibilities I see. I see either we break this level, we fall down here, or we break this level and we rise up to the all-time high. That's what I'm seeing. It's probably, I think, more likely that we end up rising. But that's just because I love Tesla and Elon Musk. And I love my Tesla. Not as much as I love my gas cars, though. I'm sorry, I had to say it. Teslas are cool, but gas cars are better. Someone is saying I caused the Swissborg dip. I wish I had that much liquidity to play with. That would be very fun. Look at the dollar index first before I buy. Yeah, so this is the other thing. It's been rising quite a bit. And yeah, it actually took a little bit of a drop, but it's right back up again. So definitely, I think, yeah, could have some space to drop again from here. Very possible. Let's see what else we have here for questions. Anything else you want me to go through? How much percentage Bitcoin do I trade versus HODL? I don't actually have the numbers on that. I don't remember. I would have to check. But it's probably between 5 and 20% that I trade with. So quite a small amount. Yeah, so if you guys do have any other questions, please let me know. Someone is saying that $39,000 is healthy for Bitcoin. That would mean falling all the way down here. I agree with you, but I wouldn't want that to happen. That would be very painful. That would be very, very painful and uncomfortable. If we do have any final questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will probably make my way off relatively soon. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way. Thank you all for hitting up the likes. We're so close to 500, so let's go ahead and do that if you haven't already liked the video. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, then please go ahead and do that as well if you are enjoying these videos. It'll make sure that you can keep on watching them and you get notified about them as well if you do tick the bell. If you want to join our free Telegram channel, the steps to do that are on screen. Click on the first link in the description down below. And to join VIP, follow these next 2 steps. That'll collectively take you probably about 5 minutes. I'm sorry, 5 seconds. What's my strategy for the end of the bull run? Well, it's quite likely that I won't know that the bull run has ended until way past when it's ended. That's usually how it tends to go. So I don't really have a strategy. I'll probably sell a bunch of my Bitcoin when it's quite clear that we're in a bull market. But by that point, it's probably going to be too late. So I don't know. Hopefully I'm still making videos by that point and you can hear my thoughts live when it happens. What are my thoughts on NFTs? I think it's a sign of extreme irrational exuberance, especially in its current form, and it's very concerning. Do I think Bitcoin drops tonight to test lower lows, or do I think it'll bounce back to 60K? That's very hard for me to say because it's not really a technical question you're asking me, to be honest. I think that it's very... oh, we just hit 500 likes. Thank you all very much. It's not a very technical question. I think it's more touch and feel kind of question, so I really couldn't say. Yeah, it's hard for me to say. Free spirits, I'm not subscribing. I got blocked in the chat for asking about bcash. I'm disliking this video and reporting you for spam. Man, that's a level of upset that I don't think I've seen since I left school. Phil, who is the moderator, told you why you were put in the timeout, and it's not because you asked about bcash, but I don't like your attitude, so I'll just block you right now. What do I think of Dogecoin? I think Dogecoin is a joke. I really don't like it. Do I hold Bitcoin or just trade on leverage? I do both. But leverage trading is my primary thing. My ETH target price for short term is the all-time high. What about the pi cycle indicator? I have never heard of that. That sounds really stupid. But maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not particularly interested in learning new indicators because I don't need to. What can you say about the dump happening right now on Bitcoin? I mean, look, it's a small rejection coming off the 60K level. So, you know, bottom line, I think we're still going to break it quite soon. I think we might just end up kind of fluctuating here for maybe even a day, something like that, and pumping up. Or even, you know, within the next couple of hours, wouldn't surprise me if we made a rally back up. Could just be a case of China needs to wake up, you know, which is in what, like 4 hours? Chengpin, if you're still here, you can let us know when Beijing wakes up. I'm sure it's not going to take much. Carlson is saying, I need to make money today. That perspective is absolutely terrible to take into trading because it will mean that you're quite desperate. So be careful. Real talk for real people. Don't like it, close the video. Big ups, all the true fans smashing that like button. Thank you very much, Phil. Yeah, 100%. This is all about the realism and keeping it real and being grounded with the trading, because we are real traders behind this channel. And if we did not have the same grounded approach and realistic approach, we would be bad traders and we would be losing money. So I don't want to be like that. FORFLIES, have I changed my mind on the possibilities of Bitcoin leading us into a new golden age? No, not really. That's not really something I don't know, maybe it's gonna happen. Hopefully it does happen. That would be very cool. But I'm not betting on that. Pi cycle indicator indicates market tops for Bitcoin. Multiple investor tool indicator as well. Very cool, but I've never heard of it. It's 3 a.m. in Beijing. Okay, so yeah, give it another 5-6 hours, and maybe that could be when we start seeing a pump. What leverage do I usually go with? Do I prefer long or short? In this market, I strongly prefer going long, because if you look at the market, you would have way more opportunity to be correct and make money if you were going long, like way more. So I certainly think that that going long is a safer option, and my leverage is usually either 5 times or 10 times leverage. What's a good portfolio in crypto? I have no idea. I don't really have a portfolio because I just trade Bitcoin. Yeah, Crypto Bunny right there. Golden age. Most traders don't care about golden ages. I agree with you. I mean, we're just here to multiply our dollars at the end of the day. So, you know, and you know, someone's gonna get super pissed off about that, and I'll ask you why you measure your Bitcoin against the dollar. You know, like, I've never heard a good answer to that. The standard answer is, well, it's the only thing we can measure it against right now. Well, yeah, well, that defeats the purpose of your argument just right there. You know, so I certainly agree. Most people don't care about golden ages and things like that if we're traders. Certainly not for this channel. I do agree with the philosophies of Bitcoin, obviously, but it's not something that I'm particularly interested in, like, to talk about on this channel. That I would save for a podcast or something. What do I think about GME and AMC? Nothing. I think it's a shame that a lot of poor people got absolutely fucked on this. I think it's a real shame. I think it was unnecessary. I hope that someone heeded my warnings when I said this is a stupid idea to trade. Real shame. But, you know, what can you do? Crypto Bunny, I would trade shit if it made me money. There you go. Yeah, clearly people trade shit if it makes them money. Right here. Clearly. So, yeah, I agree. My thoughts on Algo. Everyone's asking me to look at Algo. Algo's on Phemex, by the way. So Phemex has a lot of cool pairs. I'm not going to analyze the Phemex chart, though. We'll look at the Coinbase chart. I mean, yeah, there's not much I can say. There's just not much price history here. I don't know what technical analysis I can give you here. There's a little bit of resistance from a descending triangle that formed right here that Algo is facing right now. I cannot draw a straight line at all. Bam, right there. So there's a little bit of horizontal resistance right here. I think if Algo can overcome it, it should be able to rise up to the all-time high. There you go. That's all I can say. It's in an ascending triangle, so it certainly makes sense. Do I trade only Bitcoin? I trade mainly Bitcoin. Mainly. No thoughts on Theta, sorry. I'll take a final few questions and then I'll be heading off. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Thank you all for hitting up the likes and getting us up to 550. Thank you for subscribing, if you've done that already. Joining our free Telegram channel and inquiring about VIP if you're curious to see how this amazing analysis gets translated into trades. It's been a very good, concise live stream, I think. So I'm definitely proud and happy with that. Have I ever hit up Crypto and chat trades? A little bit. I never message him. I never talk to him specifically to talk about trades. I don't think any of us do because it's annoying to talk about this all the time. But yeah, I mean, you know, we've talked about it, and he's good. He's coming back today, actually. I should message him. I might pick him up from the airport. Yeah, actually, I'll do that right now. He lands like right now, I think. So just message him real quick while I'm live. Do I pay tax on crypto? There's no tax in Dubai. FORFLIES, is listing on any exchange means dumping or pumping? What would you suggest when a coin is about to be listed? When a coin is about to be listed, I don't suggest anything, but it usually ends up going up. Do I ever use ABCD cipher patterns in my analysis? Too fancy? For me, it's too fancy. I've never used it before, never even seen it. What percent of one's capital? I can't answer these questions. What is my favorite food? That's something I can answer, and it's still fish and chips from London. Haven't had it for a while. Other than that, it's probably... It's a tough one, actually. There's a lot of good food here in Dubai. I don't know. What do I use? What's my favorite food here? You know, I fall out of love with food when I'm on extreme discipline. Pineapple pizza is up there, but it's not my favorite. When I'm in extreme bouts of discipline with eating, I just fall out of love with food, and no food is particularly amazing in my eyes. Alright guys, looks like we are largely out of questions. Is it possible to trade Bitcoin for untaxed US dollars? I don't understand your question. I'm sorry. Do I honestly think crypto is the future of exchanges? I don't think anything. Just had Nusra in Texas, nice. Yeah, it's new in Texas, right? The Dallas one, I think it just opened. I was born in the UK, yeah. Phil, I ran fish and chip shops for 12 years and then been a pizza chef for 2 years. I'll cook you the best pineapple pizza and fish and chips you ever had. That's so cool. I would 100% take you up on that. I think I remember which part you live in, so I'll hit you up if I do ever come in town. Popeye's chicken is pretty good. They have Popeyes here? Are you serious? They have Popeyes here? Because I didn't know that. I need to go because I've never been. Oh, you know, I did go actually, and I got the burger. No, I didn't get the burger that everyone was fighting over. Or was it a sandwich? I think Americans call them sandwiches. Which one do I need to get? I'll go and get it tomorrow. Yeah, I remember it. I had it about 2 months ago, and it was disappointing. The only fast food that I really like is Chick-fil-A. And that is spectacular. It's really good. Alright guys, I think I will head off. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you've had a great day. Hope you've enjoyed this live stream. If you have, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy. Bye.